is up, guys? Today I'm filming a unpopular opinions video. I haven't filmed this in a long time because I had to wait a while to gather some more to make it a video. So if you're new, subscribe, like this video, comment. If you have any video requests, comment them down below, and follow me on Instagram at kymanachristineyt and turn your post notifications so you get notified every time I post a video. And also check out my other videos if you haven't already. So I have a list on my phone. There's about 16, and I'm just gonna say this: no one's safe. I feel like Beyonce is only black when it's convenient. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really feel like I should go any more in depth with that. I never understood the hype with Beyonce too. That was another unpopular opinion. I never wrote it down, but I did want to like touch on that a little bit because I didn't understand the hype about her, and it seems like it gets increasingly worse as the years come. Like, people act like she's a literal god, and they do that same thing with Kim Kardashian. Weird, because like she doesn't even know you guys, but you guys act like she's a literal god. Like, you guys literally worship the ground she walks on, and if she breathes or does anything, y'all are like, oh my god, she's like queen. Like, I don't get that. And I feel like every time there's something going on racism wise, she's always coming out with some weird music video. Not weird, I shouldn't say that. She just, because that's like insensitive. Like, I don't feel like she really cares about that. I feel like she feels pressured to talk about it because she's Beyonce, and if she doesn't, then you guys will probably clock her for that. Or not, I don't know. Like, I don't know. This is Christmas episodes on shows are boring, and Halloween show episodes on shows are better. Okay, this is a really good one. You can't use cruelty-free products and still eat meat. I've seen people that actively eats meat and still be like, oh well, this is cruelty-free, like I'm helping the planet. And I'm just like, fake chicken nuggets didn't involve cruelty before you got it on your plate. It sounded better in my head. It doesn't make sense, because you can't be both. You can't be both. You have to literally, like, if you're gonna eat meat, stay in that lane. If you want to choose to eat meat for the rest of your life, stay in that lane. Don't go to the cruelty-free side, because literally I'm always preaching about that stuff. I'm always using cruelty-free products, and it makes sense because I don't eat meat. But if someone comes around and they're like, okay, I eat chicken nuggets every single day, but I'm still gonna not use products that have cruelty in it, it doesn't make sense, because literally every animal product you get has to involve cruelty in it. Types of animals are always getting tested for things that, for literally people, even though we both will have the same, like, different reactions. And it's sad because these people would push them down, break all their bones just to try like a perfume or something. It doesn't make sense to me, and I feel like it should be preached more and not so like hidden, because this is important too. Like, one of the many things that should be prioritized in the world, but everyone has different standards when it comes to animals. It's weird, but I'm always going to be an advocate for animals, because obviously they can't talk, and I feel better using cruelty-free products because I'm not contributing to the mess, you know. So just think about that. Like, imagine one of your pets getting put into those labs and getting treated horribly because they're just there. These are like unwanted pets that nobody wants, that basically are put into labs to get tested on. So think about that the next time you pick up a non-cruelty free product, because I always have a guilt thing when I don't see that label, you know. It's just, it doesn't sit well with me. So next is collard greens are disgusting. Next, teen pregnancy has become normalized, and it shouldn't be. another thing is, being a baby mama has also become normalized in this day and age. Like, Black Lives Matter protest only prioritizes men that die under the police, when women and trans people die under the police too. I just feel like it's only prioritized under men. That's why I was kind of like feeling iffy when a couple, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when George Floyd became a trend, and I felt very iffy about it. But the thing is, like, Breonna Taylor died earlier this year, and everyone was hush hush about it. I didn't even know about her until people were talking about her, because they don't talk about those things in the media a lot, especially when it comes to women, black women, brown women, trans women. It doesn't get brought up to the media a lot. It's just hidden. So when a man dies under the police, everyone is like, when this thing happened, everyone kind of like woke up. It was very strange phenomenon, I will give you that. It was very weird. I was supportive, but I felt really weird because I couldn't tell if people were doing it for the trend or if people were genuinely like know that it's wrong, you know? Happy for all people that die how do you say, uncircumstantially under the police instead of just the men. Okay, Jess Hilarious should have never had a career, period. Let me just tell you why, okay? The first time I found out that she got canceled was somebody corrected me on it under a comment, because I sometimes comment under people's videos when it comes to like controversial things that people don't always talk about, and I did talk about this Middle Eastern thing before the plane incident, before the Megan Thee Stallion incident. She felt unsafe. I forgot, I don't remember what video. You know what, I don't want to be, I think it's Sophie Love XO's video. 407, okay, here we go. I found it. Okay, this one has 131 likes. I made it a month ago, same video. Wasn't Jess Hilarious canceled for kicking Middle Eastern people off a plane because she felt unsafe? And then somebody said, Seek, how do you say that? I don't know how to pronounce that, okay? Somebody corrected me. That 9/11 thing happened in 2001. Everyone always felt super unsafe with Middle Eastern people because they blamed it on them. And she should have ended her career because she's not funny, first of all, and second of all, she made fun of a traumatic experience for a woman, a black woman at that. She made fun of her own race. Like, she could have easily been in that same situation. She wouldn't make a joke about it. She made a video mocking Megan Thee Stallion's incident where she got shot in the foot. Literally, there's videos of her like having her hands up and there's blood trailing behind her, and everyone made memes about it. She did not help that situation at all. She should have never had a career in the first place. It should have gone to someone that actually deserves to be it, like something that's actually funny and actually influential. She's not influential at all. She's just a shitty person all around. She just has I feel like she's funny for white people and not black people. She's just one of those people that are just not funny, you know? Is the Jeffrey Epstein case is never gonna get solved because, first of all, people are dying every time they talk about, like, anyone that's connected or try to speak up about the case, they die. And it's weird because I watched the documentary with my boyfriend probably a month ago or 2 months ago. I don't really remember when we watched it, but I was very curious about it. We watched the whole thing and we both were pretty angry watching it because of how things were going down, and it was just very, like, the victims weren't treated fairly. There's a lot of people that are connected to it, especially, I think, alleged Chrissy Teigen is also connected, and she should have been canceled, but everyone is still, like, following her because I think people just kind of swept that under the rug. It's solved. People keep trying to solve the issue, but I don't think it's gonna be solved. And I still don't know if he really offed himself. That's the thing. I don't know. Like, it's just weird because like the security guards weren't there, or they weren't paying attention to him, and the security cameras weren't working when he did it. It's just really strange case. It's very interesting, but it's also triggering. It will make you angry. Next, the fetish for mixed people is weird and disgusting. I don't know. That really shouldn't be, like, I don't know. So many people are obsessed with mixed people. It's so strange that so many people feel like that's a personality trait when there's other characteristics to a person other than the fact that you're mixed, okay? So let me just tell you, when I was actively on Tinder, I wasn't even really looking for anyone, but this is back in the day. Let me just say that, okay? Like, people used to see me as exotic on that app all the time, mostly black people. And every time, because they would always be like, what are you? You don't look like you're just black, which is really annoying. But I always have to say, like, yeah, I have Hispanic in me. It's from both of my parents, yada yada yada. The flag is right there. Everyone's seen it. Everyone talks about it, has talked about it. You know, it's just really annoying sometimes because people think that it's just something to, like, that makes you automatically more attractive if you have other features, like other races in you than just what you are. I don't think me being mixed makes me better than anyone else, to be honest. I feel like it just makes me the same person. I don't feel like I'm below anyone. I don't feel like I'm higher than anyone because of it. I never made it a personality trait, but I am very thankful that I have it because I learned things, and I've tried Puerto Rican foods and I've tried Trinidadian foods. You know, I get best of both worlds with it. I've never tried Guatemalan food, but I will one day. But I get best of both worlds, and I'm very thankful of that. But it shouldn't be something to prey on or something. It's very strange. That's why I was very happy that, you know, my boyfriend wasn't one of those weird guys that was like, oh my god, you're mixed, like you're automatically perfect to me. Like, at first when I met him, he thought I was Mexican, and I was like, no, I'm not Mexican. And then I told him what I was, and he's like, okay, cool. Like, I remember him saying like something cool in the wording, and then we moved on from that. Okay, you shouldn't have your black card revoked if you haven't had the same experiences as other black people. Okay, this is kind of a personal thing for me because I've always gotten triggered by this because, first of all, growing up, I never got whoopings, okay? My mom was very against that. My dad wanted to, but my mom was like, no, we're not doing that, because I feel like it's so normalized in the black community, even in the Hispanic community. Like, they hit people with chanclas. Like, it shouldn't be normalized. Like, beatings shouldn't be normalized, I'm sorry, in any community. But when I told people, like black people, when I was around them, they were like, you know, asking me if I ever got whoopings growing up, and I was like, no. And they looked at me weird, and they were like, you're not even black enough. And I was just like, huh? Adding traumatic things into my life makes me black? What? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. I didn't really have a lot of the same black experiences that a lot of other people have, and I'll say that. Like, I guess you could say to some, I grew up privileged, you know, living in San Diego, growing up in San Diego. Like, I was mostly around Hispanic people, and every time I was around black people, they always told me that I wasn't black enough, or that I didn't look black. It was one of those two. You know, they make jokes about me all the time, like all the time. They didn't believe me that my parents were even my parents. They didn't ever believe me that I was black, like, ever. Even though I have, you know, 2 black parents They never believed me, even on that. Like, they literally thought I was adopted or something. This is the way the people would act, which is weird to me. So I didn't like, you know, Grits, and that was another thing that people got triggered by. I didn't like the show Martin because it was boring to me. I didn't really like the show Moesha. Boring. Like, Living Single, kind of boring to me too. Like, Bill Cosby show was kind of boring too, now that I think about it. Like, I think I liked A Different World better than the Cosby show. Yeah. Putting perms in your child's hair should be considered child abuse. I say it should be considered child abuse because you're putting chemicals in your child's hair because you don't want to keep up with their curly hair. That should be considered child abuse. Why don't you learn from YouTube or how to deal with hair, or ask a friend how to deal with coily, kinky, curly hair? Why do you have to perm your hair? What is the deal with that? You're putting your kid at risk for cancer, and I don't get the point of that. Like, you're gonna get them, like, and then look what happens. You're putting insecurities in them at a very young age. You're thinking that their hair is not beautiful because you're straightening it. You're putting chemicals in your hair because you think that it's just too hard to keep up with, and you're putting your insecurities on your kid's on your kid. So they grow up thinking my hair is ugly because my mom always permed my hair, and then you end up having breakage everywhere, and then you end up probably getting perms for the rest of your life because that's what you grew up on. It's just a lot. Like, it's a cycle. In the Black community, there's always women and kids getting perms, and luckily I don't really see it as much anymore, but my grandma still actively uses it. Her sister actively uses it, and I don't like that she still uses it because I've been alive for almost 20 years and I've never seen her curly hair before, and I would love to see it one day, but I don't think I'm ever gonna see that because I used to be really ashamed of my curly hair for 6 years of my life. Like, it took me until I got out of high school to be really appreciative of what I have. So, you know, I don't really like that trend. It went on for so long. If you want to learn more about it, you can watch this movie Napoli Ever After. It's a really good movie. Like, I loved it. I watched it like 3 times because I liked it that much. Luckily, I never had perms, so I never understood what that was like. I actually wanted a perm when I was a kid, and because my mom had it, because when we went to the pool, which was my childhood, like going to the pool a lot, whenever she went in the pool, her hair would still be straight, and I didn't understand because my hair was curly, and every time my hair that was like straightened touched water, it was it would get curly. So I would get really confused, and I'm just like, why does my hair keep getting like why does it look like this and why does hers look like that? So my mom was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go natural because I don't want her thinking that this is okay. So that's why she's natural to this day, because of me, because I wanted straight hair. The Black community is one of the most self-hated communities ever. Okay, I'm coming for the Black community if you couldn't tell, because there's so many flaws in it. So many flaws that people overlook a lot because they just think it's considered normal, but it's not. I'm here to tell you that it's not. I feel like there's so much self-hate because of what happened in slavery days, and everyone just kind of kept with that, and they still think people with lighter skin, like my skin tone, is still considered better than people with darker skin tones, which isn't true. It shouldn't be. Like, it's like drilled in your head when you're born. Like, when you're born, it's drilled in your head. Lighter is better. It's closer to white. And white is considered beautiful. Actually, it really should have never been like that. They should have put more like everyone is beautiful, the skin you're in, instead of prioritizing one. You know what I mean? Because, like, I know a lot of Black men always, like, seem to hate the skin that they're in, mostly dark skinned men. seem to, first of all, I noticed this trend for a long time. Trend? I don't know what to call it. But this pattern, I would notice that a lot of dark-skinned black men would talk shit about dark-skinned women. And I remember hearing one of my friends do that, and I was like snapping at him, because I'm just like, what is the point of this? Your mother and your sisters are dark-skinned. What is the point you're trying to come across? And they think it's funny. They think it's like, you know, it's seen as like, you know, having a preference, but it's really just toxic. You don't have to tear someone down because you're insecure. Grow up because they make fun of their skin. But if you look at them, they have, you know, very dark skin. I never understood that, because my dad was one of those people that didn't like dating dark-skinned women, even though he's dark-skinned himself. I never understood that. And his mother's dark-skinned, his dad's dark-skinned. The only one that isn't dark-skinned is his brother. So I never understood why he would always be talking down on them having dark skin, and only favorited the people that were light-skinned, because my mom is light-skinned, and he favored people like that. And I'm just like, really, like, growing up really confused, because I'm just like, is this considered normal? Like, this doesn't seem normal to me, you know? I don't see other races doing this, so why is it just ours? What am I on? I don't feel like people in the black community should be worried about protecting predators in the family. There's this weird thing about the black community always protecting child molesters and shit like that. You know, there's been so many posts on Instagram like, why do we always have to change what we wear when a man comes in the house? And I've been told so many times, or a boy, man or boy, comes in the house, okay, let me use an example here. So my childhood friends, I don't know what to call them, friends, came to my house in March. They came from California. Like, he brought up the fact that we had crushes on each other when we were like kids, because it went on for a while. Like, we both had crushes on each other up until middle school. It makes you feel like weird in your own home when you have to change into pants and not be comfortable in your own home when someone else is around. I think that's very stupid, because like, why aren't you checking the person for checking me out instead of me? Like, I'm just wearing what I'm comfortable in. Why do I have to change to make, why do I have to make myself uncomfortable to make you comfortable? Maybe arrest the predators, check them, get them help, and stop targeting the women for wearing what they want to wear. Just a thought. Lastly, the natural hair community died. I think it died when the rice water hype died down. On this bandwagon of rice water, and even I fell into that trap, because I really thought it was gonna grow my hair out and it was gonna be like all the way down to my butt, because I want it to be at least like, you know, a little bit longer. It's pretty long, but it's just not that. I want it to be longer because I want to see my hair's full potential, you know. So popular in like 2016, 2017, and I used to follow so many hair YouTubers, and it used to be really fun time sometimes. But now it's so like, it's crickets. Like, I follow so many hair YouTubers, and a lot of them switch to lifestyle stuff instead of hair videos, and I think it's because there's not much to do. Like, there's so many Bantu knots you can do, there's so many braid outs you can do, there's so many wash day routines you can do. It just gets kind of repetitive after a while. So I think that's probably why it died down. But it sucks, because there's still people that are transitioning into being natural, and they, you know, when I first went natural and stopped straightening my hair, I literally didn't know where to go to. So I would read so many articles, watch so many videos, because YouTube really did help. Like, reading those articles, you know. I'm gonna end the video here. Like this video, comment, follow me on Instagram, kymanachristineyt, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.